Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Um, Good morning, everyone. I had to look at the clock, see if it was still morning. It is. Good morning, everyone. My name is Guadalupe Saldivar, and I'm the internship specialist with the Career Center. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully you all can see it for today's presentation. Can you see it, Hilda?
Yes, I can see your presentation.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Oh no, it's loading.
Oh,
Gosh.
give it a second.
Okay.
It'll give them time to submit their attendance.
Oh, true. Yeah. We can start with introductions while my computer is loading. So sad. So again, I'm the internship specialist and I'm with the Career Center. Basically what my job is to support you in your internship search. So I'm really excited and thank you for being here today and participating because I know you're all very busy and there's so many things going on. So I really appreciate you taking the time to join the workshop today. And just know that as the internship specialist, that is exactly my primary role. So if you have any questions or you're still having trouble in finding an internship, even after the information you get from the workshop and you go back and you're starting to look and then like a week or so and you're like, okay, I don't know. Or even after this presentation and you feel like, okay, that was a lot of information, like I don't know where to begin. Whatever the case may be, just know that I'm here as a resource and I'll be more than happy to meet with you one-on-one to further discuss your internship search. Hilda, if you want to give a quick introduction while my computer is still loading.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Hilda Munoz and I'm the Internship Admin Support for the Career Center. And I am the support on the back end in the Career Center when it comes to the different programs that we oversee. But I am also a point of contact for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me or call me, and I will be more than happy to help you guys. And thank you all for joining us today. We do know that your schedules are very busy, so we want to make sure that you guys get the best information from this workshop today.
I had to restart it, so hopefully it can work right again.
Okay. Well, there's still a few people trickling in.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, yay, I think it works. Okay, cool.
All right.
Sounds good. Awesome. Let's see. All right, so here's the entire internship team at the Career Center. So as Hilda mentioned, she's the internship admin support. We also have 3 student assistants who are very wonderful in helping us move forward all the initiatives that we do in regards to internships. So Sebastian, Andrea, Ariana, you may receive emails from them from time to time. So here are some pictures so you can put faces to the names. So an overview for today, it is approximately a 45 to 50-minute workshop. And the presentation overview is I want to focus on where you can find and search for internships and how to go about it. So especially right now, I'll be focusing on virtual internships because the majority of employers are essentially hiring remotely if they're hiring at all. So I definitely want to give you those tools to find virtual internships. And I also want to share with you how the Career Center can support you. So as I mentioned, I'm here as a resource, but knowing that there's also additional individuals on campus that can help you with your search, and I'll go more in depth later on in the presentation. So the internship benefits, why is it important to get an internship, right? So when Dr. Robert Schindel, he works for Intern Bridge, which is an organization just dedicated in doing internship research. When he asked employers, over 300 employers, on what was the most important attribute when evaluating graduates for hire. So these are students who just recently graduated and what are employers really looking at. And the number one thing, as you can see, is internships. So they were really focused on the experience that the student received while going to school, right? So that is why one of the benefits of doing an internship is that employers really value that experience. And then as you can kind of see on the graph as it shows, employment during college, college major and so forth. And then one of the last things is like college GPA. We're not saying to not to like ignore or neglect your grades. We're not saying that at all. We're just based off of this research, that is what employers deem the most important in order there. Okay, so kind of bringing it closer to home is looking at the statistics for CSUSB alumni. So as you can see in this graph, 62% of students, so we launch a survey every year and we ask students where they are after they graduate from CSUSB. And 62% of students reported that they're working full-time. And 11% were working part-time. And then so forth. You can see all the other options. But the reason why I'm showing you this graph is not to scare you, not to like discourage you. The reason why I'm showing you this graph is to lay out a context for you, because I want to create that sense of urgency that this is in fact a very important thing that you're doing. And I'm really glad that you're attending this workshop, because some students will go on, right? If you are interested in going into graduate school, the Career Center can also help you with that. But if you are looking for a full-time position, it's really important to get as much as experience as you can while you're in school. That way, you can get that full-time position, or that position that you have dreamt about as well. Okay, so I want to look into the chat. So if you can just type in, and if you're on your phone, if you want to just text it in there, why do you personally want to get an internship? And I'll give folks just a couple seconds. Let's see if.
All right, we have one. I want to have experience before looking for my future career. Experience in networking, to get my foot in the door for a job
Nice.
after college, to get actual job experience, to gain work experience and understand what having a job feels like.
Yes, experience.
Yay, it's
I
yeah,
know it's
mainly
like a
experience.
bunch of experience. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so Robert Schindel also asked this question to hundreds of students, right? And then this is what the question that was posed is, what was your motivation to pursue an internship? And in ranking, students similar to you all said that the number one reason why they wanted to get an internship was to gain hands-on experience. Others focused on to be better prepared for their employment in the field, to learn new skills, to have a realistic preview of the workplace. And then this is also very important too, because I think it's one thing to read something in the textbook, right? And thinking about what your field, you can imagine what your field might look like. But once you're in it, in that environment, you can see like the dynamics, what the industry is being influenced by, and so forth. Um, all right. So the next thing I want to touch on is that the internship search is a process. So some students will come and meet with me, and that we'll talk about their internship search. And about like a week or so, they email me back and say, hey, I found something. And then I get all excited, right? And then there's other students, right, that may take them a couple months or several months. So just recognize that it is in fact a process, and your process might look different than the person next to you or virtually next to you. Okay, so the number one thing, or step one, is to revise your resume. So I know I can't really see a lot of you. So, how many of you have a resume? Just like, and I'm going to pretend that I don't just see black screens. um, and then I want to ask, like, how many of you feel really confident about your resume?
Give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I have something in the chat. I have one, but I have not updated it in about a year or so.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So maybe, it's time to definitely relook at that, relook at your resume. And the one thing that I share with students while revising their resume is that it's not so much about the positions that you've had in the past. So for example, I was, as an undergrad, I was a server for 2 years for a local restaurant, and I wanted to go into HR. So, kind of at face value, you would think like, okay, serving has nothing to do with human resources, right? But it's not. When I talked to one of my mentors, it was not necessarily what the position itself was. It was what skills can you highlight from that position that align with the field that you want to go into. So for example, within HR, right, there's a lot of emphasis in training and developing employees, and it's very business oriented, right? So instead of saying that like that I instead of saying that I informed, or I would say I trained new employees or new servers, right, about the protocols of the restaurant and whatnot. But if I was going into education, instead of saying I trained employees, I would say I educated new employees. So I hope that example makes sense. So it's more so of how you frame and what skills you highlight to align them to the field that you want to go into. And that's what I would do. Essentially, if you would schedule an appointment with me to revise your resume, I'd be more than happy to do that. And I will look at the field that you want to go into and how your experiences can align to that ideal career that you would like. Step two is to identify internship search strategies. So again, it's not going to be the same for everybody. So for example, I will share that if you're a business student, Handshake might be a very, ideal search engine for you to utilize. But if you are, let's say, like a music major and you're looking for an internship, Handshake may not have a lot of opportunities. Not saying that it doesn't have any, it just may not have a lot. So your search strategy is going to look a lot different than maybe like an accounting major. And I'll go over that as well. Step three is to actively search and apply. So how many of you binge watch Netflix? You can give me a thumbs up. Yes, Hilda, good job. I do too.
I do.
Oh, are we the only ones, or do I not see any more hands up? Oh,
I,
yeah, okay. Yeah,
oh, I was
there's
like,
plenty.
okay.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
good, good.
yeah, so I do too. I binge Netflix. I feel like I'm running out of shows, so if you have any recommendations, please put them in the chat too. Um, but what I call binge apply. So some students will come to me and they'll say like, oh yeah, like I applied to like 20 internships on this Saturday night and I haven't heard back. I don't know. So I'm done. I'm done with my search. So what I discourage you to do from doing is binge, what I call binge applying. So give yourself a goal and a weekly goal, and depending on your coursework and if you're working part-time, like definitely be realistic, but anywhere from 3 to 7 positions a week is a really great strategy to use. And the reason for that is because I have a 5-to-1 ratio. So for every 5th application that you're submitting, you should probably be getting at least 1 interview. And if you're not, then it's something to do with your resume. And the same thing with interviews, right? So let's say you're interviewing a lot, but you're not getting any offers. Then we can look at how are you interviewing? What are those interviewing strategies that you can implement? So those are some ways. That way you can monitor your search process, is to give yourself a weekly goal and in thinking about how many positions a week you're going to be applying for. All right, so where to find virtual internships? So here's some databases. Hilda will share this presentation slide along with the links. That way you don't have to scramble to like write them down or like take screenshots or whatnot. So we'll definitely be sending that out to you. Just make sure that you do sign in. That way we do capture your email address. So the first one is Just Remote. So this is really great for sales and marketing majors. The I kind of wrote a description after each of the search engines. That way you can kind of see what types of jobs are there. So remote.co, it can range from accounting to legal to teaching positions. And Job Espresso is also a good one for freelance part-time jobs. And then they have an array. And again, your, let's see here. Yeah. So again, depending on your major, some of these search engines could work for you, and others it may not, right? So you kind of decide and see for yourself. Like go into them and see, like try them out and see like if you like them or not, because they may vary. USA Jobs is really great for internships and recent graduate positions. So these are all federal government agencies that will post on USA Jobs. So this is like the FBI or like USDA, right? So all of these government agencies will post on there. Um, ca.gov or CalJobs is a really great tool for if you're looking for a position within the government, within the state of California, right? So that's also a really great search engine, and they also have internships opportunities available too. You would just need to type in remote and then select internship, and then all the internship opportunities that are virtual right now will appear. So the next one is Indeed. So I have mixed feelings about Indeed. Can you give me a thumbs up if you've heard of Indeed before? Cool. Yes. So I have mixed feelings about Indeed. Indeed is it's really neat because a lot of people know about it and a lot of employers know about it. So when you search on there, there's thousands and thousands of results. So if you just type remote internship or virtual internship, you're going to get like thousands, like pages of it. But because of that same reason, because it's very well known, there's a lot of things on there that are not legit, right? Or that that are kind of diluted in quality. So in terms of that, just making sure it's a great resource as well. Just be very careful in terms of looking at the position and making sure that it is a legit position in the company. Research the company as well. If you ever have any questions or you feel it's kind of like a scam, or just email me and I can take a look at it. But yeah, um, something that has come up recently, actually, because of this whole movement about virtual internships, is that we had a student recently that she got an offer, and they told her that she was going to get a check in the mail for about $2,000 to buy equipment. So just as a heads up, never accept a check before for you to purchase equipment. The company should provide you, and they will send the equipment to you. So what ended up happening with her is that the check bounced, and then she was like, because she endorsed it, it was like a sense committing fraud against her bank. So definitely, just again, do not like that's like a very common way of scamming, is like sending a check before, and then then the check ends up bouncing. So just all that to say, because those are out there, and unfortunately some individuals are taking advantage of the situation, that they know that students are looking for virtual internships. So they're just make sure that you're careful with that. There's also volunteer match. So these are really great opportunities as well. They vary in time, like time commitment. So that's also really good. And then I want to share with you Parker and Dewey. So this is an organization that focuses on project-based internships. So this is really neat, especially if you want more flexibility. So essentially, like companies will reach out to Parker and Dewey and say, hey, I want a project that I want students to work on. And they're all paid projects. So they're project based, and it's not like a 10-week. It's more of like, as long as you complete the project, you will essentially get paid. So that's really cool, because large companies like Google, HP, all sorts of companies will post on there and saying like, oh, my team and I are working on something, and I would like for a project to be done. And you can apply to complete that project. And then if you're selected, they will pay you for that. So that's also really good. If you do end up doing micro internships, I recommend doing multiple. That way you can have multiple projects under your resume and build up your experience. All right, so how many of you have heard of Handshake? I'm sure all of you have. So if you can give me a thumbs up, woohoo, Hilda, yeah. Us. Yes. Brandy, Jay, yeah, Daniel, Juan. Good. Awesome. Okay, so the reason why we promote so heavily on Handshake is because unlike other databases, Handshake recruiters specifically select that they want to recruit from CSUSB. So unlike all the other databases, anybody can access them. They're national databases. Anybody can get on, and any employer can actually like posts on there, right? But on Handshake, we personally at the Career Center, we approve the internship. We look at it beforehand, and we see like, okay, this is a legit opportunity. And the recruiters are also saying, hey, I want to recruit from CSUSB. So definitely take advantage of it. If you have any questions in terms of how to navigate Handshake, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you as well. LinkedIn. So how many of you have a LinkedIn? You can give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Yeah. So LinkedIn is a really great tool. It's a networking tool, but they also have student job listings on there. So there's the link there, just slash jobs, and you can search for internships. And if you are, when you're getting ready to apply for full-time positions, you can also select like entry level. So you're avoiding those postings that are saying, oh, we want 10 years of experience, right? And you're like, what? I just graduated. Like, what are you talking about? Other ones is check internships. So they also have a wide array for all majors. Cove Intern just popped up, and it's in response to the pandemic. But Cove Intern is remote internships with startups and companies. So definitely check that out. And then if you're an art major, Entrepreneur is also a really great resource to look for positions and internships. All right. So now that was, a lot of information within the internship search engine. So if you could please enter any questions that you have in the chat, and I'll read them off and try my best to answer them. So this could be like challenges that you faced when looking for an internship, or if you just started looking for an internship, or you haven't begun and you're like, okay, what do I do next? Any questions that you have on your mind, feel free to put them in the chat.
So we have one question from Jocelyn. She said, can someone do internships after graduation?
Yes, but it is very rare for employers to offer internships to recent graduates. So that's my only hesitation in terms of ideally you would want to do an internship the summer of your junior year going into your senior year or earlier, because a lot of employers will look for students who are still enrolled. So it is very rare for employers to offer internships after graduation, but I would look at there's the Haku National Internship Program, and they actually hire interns who've recently graduated up to 6 months after graduation. So that's also a really neat opportunity, and it's very unique.
Okay. Jocelyn says, I have not had a chance to do an internship and I'm about to graduate. And she's the one that asked that question.
Okay. Jocelyn, when do you graduate?
Spring 2020.
Okay. Yeah, so you still have time. You can do an internship like in the spring semester. Now that we're in semesters, so you can do an internship in the spring semester. Did you 2021?
2020.
Oh, okay, 2020. Yeah. Yeah, so you still have some time. And if not, definitely check out the Haku National Internship Program, because they will, if you're selected, they will actually set you up with an internship either in the corporate side or with a federal agency, but they accept students 6 months after graduation.
Awesome. I have another question here from Sophia. What about internships outside of California?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I'm glad that you asked that. So Handshake, all the search engines that I shared with you, they're national databases. So it's up to you and how you want to filter your search. So you can search, let's say, and you mentioned New Jersey, right? So if you want to work in New Jersey, you can just filter for New Jersey, and then all the positions will pop up as well.
Awesome. Hector writes, I'm a computer science major. How soon can I start internships?
Can you repeat that one more time?
I am a computer science major. How soon can I start internships?
Yeah, so you can start even like your first year of college. Some employers will ask you to have like a foundation of your field, but others will not. So the sooner the better is what I think, because it allows you. So those couple like those first years, you are still exploring on what career path you want to take, right? So even with computer science, there's so many things that you can do within computer science. You can go into like data, you can go into cybersecurity. So by having an internship early on, you're able to explore where in that field you wanna go into. So the sooner the better, I would say. Start looking. Um, yeah, it's never too early.
Awesome. I am a theater major with an emphasis in tech and design. I have had trouble finding internships at this time. I was wondering what databases would be best for me to look.
Yeah, so for um, okay, so that's very interesting. So if you're a theater major and okay, it depends on, because you have your theater major and then you have your emphasis. So do you want to, it depends if you want to go into work for a theater, or do you want to focus on like what type of internship would you like, what do you want to get out of that experience? But I know Handshake has postings, and then I also have, if you want to connect with me afterwards, that way we can talk one-on-one and kind of seeing what would be best. But Handshake is really good, and then um, there's other local organizations that are currently hiring. So I would, yeah, definitely reach out to me and then I can connect you.
We have a few more. Daniel says, are your services available for graduate students, or is it only focused on undergraduate students?
Graduate students as well.
Next one comes from Jay Allen. Would an internship with professor in our field be possible?
Yes. What's your field, Jay Allen? But yeah, you
Yeah.
can do it. You can do an internship with a professor. That's fine. Do you want to
Okay.
go to the next one?
Yes. Um, this is from Jocelyn. Does someone have to take an internship course from school to do an internship?
Oh, that's a really great question. So the answer is it depends. Yeah. So the Fair Labor Standards Act, which it protects you from any. Anyway, um, employers who are for-profit companies can offer unpaid internships if you are receiving academic credit. So let's say it's a retailer, or not a retailer, like a realtor, right? A realtor agency, and they want you to intern, but they're not going to pay you. Um, you must enroll in an internship course to receive credit for doing that internship. Um, and the reason for that, think of it, if the company's making money, you should also be making money. And if you're not making money, you should at least be getting an internship course credit, like credit for it. Now, if you are interning for a government, municipal, or government agency, um, and it's a nonprofit and it is unpaid, you don't have to enroll for course credit. You can, that way you can get it, you can get credit for your time there, but you don't have to. Now the ideal is that you secure a paid internship, right? And you can still enroll for credit, but you don't have to. So the only one that you essentially do, quote unquote, have to, is if you're doing an unpaid internship with a for-profit company. And of course, I also want to add, it also depends on your department. So definitely look at your program, because I don't want to speak for all of your programs. Some departments do require an internship. So I just want you to also double check with that. But on my end, that's how that's how it goes.
Some. I have Cecilia here who says, I'm a pre-nursing major and I am looking for an internship in the medical field. What website would be for that?
Pre-nursing, I'm looking for. Oh, that's a really great, yes. So we actually have, oh goodness, I don't want to, I'm going to jot it down. That way I can add it to you. But if you go to our website, there's actually a whole database for health internships, and I will make sure that I share that before the end of the presentation. Um, yeah, I'll share that with you.
Awesome. I have Brandy here who says, what about internships that need you to be physically present to do research? I am geography/environmentally studies major.
Yeah, so if you found internships that require you to be physically present, um, right now, just from my point of view, I would advise against it just because, like the whole health crisis happening right now. If you are looking for something within like geography or environmental studies, there's a couple of organizations that I know of that are offering virtual internships. And again, if you want to email me directly, I can connect you with that organization, um, and they're virtual. Yeah.
Um, what are your thoughts on unpaid internships?
My personal opinion, I feel like they should not exist because you all deserve to get paid. However, I do recognize that, especially within our local community, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that offer unpaid internships, and I think that it really is on like how much of the experience that you're getting, because I have seen unpaid internships that offer really great experience and that will add to your resume, and it serves like as a kind of like a building block, right? So you have this experience and you're able to showcase it in the next interview that you have for your full-time position, and you can reference your internship, whether it was paid or unpaid. But yeah, those are some of my thoughts.
Awesome. And we have one last question here in the chat. How do I know the employer's requirements for an internship as for those that do not have specific requirements?
Oh, that's interesting. So usually they'll have qualifications or preferences in their job posting. If they do not offer any kind of guidance on like what they're looking for in a candidate, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just kind of think about it for yourself. So let's say, I don't know what your major is, but let's say we'll go to like the previous example of like, let's say you're a geography major and you're looking for an internship kind of, and it doesn't have any description or qualifications. Just think about what would be a good XYZ and like the position that you're applying for, and what skills would that person need in order to be successful, and just like reflect on those, and then that's what I would emphasize in your application. But yeah, that's,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Lupe. Let's see, anything else? Oh, one last point. From the quality of experience point, what is better, unpaid or paid?
From, say that again?
From the quality of experience point, what is better,
Oh,
unpaid or paid? For
that,
computer science,
yeah.
from the quality of experience point.
Oh, that's very interesting. Who asked that?
Hector.
Hector, yeah, that's a really great question, and it's actually something that it's been in conversation within the realm of internships, and there's data that shows that employers who offer a paid internship, their interns actually get more out of it. Again, not to say that unpaid internships do not offer that. Like there are some unpaid internships that are really good, and they offer a really great experience. But the theory or the thought behind that is that an employer is actually investing money, and it's going to be investing time on developing this internship program. Therefore, the quality of that internship program is going to be higher. And I saw that Elijah said the Entertainment Alliance is a good database. Yes, it is. And it's also really good for like communications. And if you're interested in, of course, the entertainment industry, that's also a really good database.
Awesome. Thank you. Those seem to be all of the questions in the chat at this time.
Okay, awesome. All right, so some of the things that I guess like one of the challenges that I've heard before is when students are looking for internships, they may kind of feel like, okay, like I'm like looking, but I can't find anything, right? And sometimes it has to do with like the keywords that you're using to search for internships. So I'm going to show you this tool. It's under our Career Center website. It's called What Can I Do with This Major? And if you go to students and alumni, and then career exploration, and then you'll hit what could I do with this major? I think I might be able to go live on, oh no, oops. Okay, never mind. Let's say, for example, we'll share this link to you, but let's say, for example, you're a criminal justice major. So you can click on criminal justice, and it'll give you all the different functional areas that fall into criminal justice. So if you think about your bachelor's degree as a funnel, and it's like the broad scope of your field, and then within that, you begin to narrow it down in your niche area. So you're a criminal justice major, but you could also go into judiciary and law, just as an example, and it provides even further occupations that fall into that functional area. So like security, legal research, administration, and then the employers that house those functional areas. So if you're interested in law, you can start looking at government agencies such as the Department of Justice, the Department of Treasury, maybe law firms or local law firms as well, and looking to see if they have internships. But what I like using this tool for is instead of typing in criminal justice internship or criminal justice intern, you can create different keywords by using these bullet points here in and coming up with different keywords, because ideally in a perfect world, the employer would post their position as I'm looking for a criminal justice intern, and the position would be titled that. But that's not always the case. Sometimes a recruiter is looking for a legal assistant intern or a data transcriber intern, right? So these are different keywords that you can utilize, but definitely use what can I do with this major to help you think about those different key terms. Another one, and we'll share that in the link, is that you can research companies using BuzzFile to search for employers that hire your particular major. So let's say you're a music major. And I set it up in the state of California, but you can change that. It's just defaulted by that, but you can change it to any state. And if you select music, it will give you all the companies in the state of California that hire music majors. So this is also a really great strategy to utilize. To look at companies that might have internship opportunities. So for example, and it can give you ideas of companies that you might not otherwise have thought about. So for example, Atlantic Recording Corp. They're based off of LA. So you can go into their website and look and see if they have internship opportunities. So this can broaden your search outside of those search engines. Okay. Another strategy is to go into the resources that your own department offers. So for example, let's say I'm a communication studies major and I can go to my department's website. Under home, there's an internship tab there. If I click on that and I want an internship, so I look at that, and then there's the view the currently posted opportunities. So each department will offer different internship resources, but definitely check out your own department, see what they offer. For example, just at the top of my head, I know the College of Business offers their own database, communication, sociology, psychology has their own databases. So definitely look at your own department. And then with that said, there's internship coordinators. So you know how we talked about those internship courses? So somebody teaches those courses. And those instructors are kind of all, from different departments. So we have a database here that we collected. So for example, if you're an art major, you can also connect with Dr. Poole, as he's the chair of the art department, but he also oversees the internship courses. And the reason for that is a good strategy is because since they are overseeing those courses, they know of internship sites that other CSUSB students have interned in the past, because they're essentially approving those sites and saying like, okay, you can receive credit, right? So these individuals are really great resources for you to tap into, and they'll serve as an additional resource uh, in addition to the Career Center. Yeah. All right. So I want to give another opportunity for Q&A if you want to enter any questions that have come up so far.
I do have one from Hector. Does CSUSB offer internships just like any other company, computer science?
No. So, but I would check with the IT department. From what I've heard in the past, I haven't seen any IT internships opportunities within CSUSB, within the IT department, but that doesn't mean that they can't exist, right? So I would reach out to them and even say, like, if you want to, especially taking advantage of our IT department here on campus, you can even say like, hey, is there a project that you need assistance with? I'll be more than happy to help you with. And usually, staff members can't say no to that, right? Because it's like, we always need some help. But yeah, so formal internship programs with our IT department at CSUSB, I haven't seen, but I still encourage you to reach out, um, yeah, and build those connections too.
Awesome. I have a question here from Momin. My major is supply chain management. I didn't see my major in. What can I do with this major?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we can. So yours would be under logistics. Let's see if we can go back. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's right here. It's under logistics and supply chain management.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then I have Christine who says, where can we find the intern coordinators list again?
right here. Just kidding. Look fast. I'm kidding. No, we'll email it to you. And if you have any questions, or if you don't see your department on here, definitely email us and we'll try to get you connected with somebody who oversees that internship course. The thing about this directory is that it's always changing because instructors will change courses. Now that we're in semesters, some semesters, um, one professor will teach it and then another professor will teach that, but usually they're pretty stagnant for the most part, but some departments do have a lot of rotation. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And then she says, LOL, I see I'm a music major, but don't see anyone on there.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So it's actually going to be Andrew Oakes, Dr. Oakes, and we need to update this directory. But yeah, for music, it's Dr. Oakes. Okay,
All right.
awesome. All right, so if you can go into the chat and just based off of the information that I provided to you, so Handshake, all the internship search engines and strategies, right? Looking at specific companies that hire for your major, looking at different keywords, looking at your department. Just I want you to take some time and reflect and put into the chat on what strategies and or engines that you'll be using to identify an internship. I just kind of want to see where everybody's at.
And go.
And
I
yes.
always feel like when they go in the chat, it's like I have to read
I
super
know,
fast.
yeah.
Okay, so I've got Handshake, Handshake LinkedIn, Handshake, Buzzfile, Handshake Haku. I will try to optimize my internship searches with different keywords, Handshake and Buzzfile, caljobs.gov, Handshake and Haku, email you.
Yes.
I love that
I
one.
see you, Jay Allen. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Cool. But yeah, anybody, feel free to email me. The next thing that I want to focus on is as we as you're applying and looking for internships, it can get kind of overwhelming, right? Especially right now. It's just like thinking about which employers are hiring, which are not. But what I would like for you to, and we don't have to do this now, but definitely take some time in thinking about these questions is um, which semester you would like to have your internship take place, and what location do you ideally want. So for, think that the student who said about the opportunity in New Jersey, so think about, do you want an opportunity here? Do you want it elsewhere? And now that we're virtual, you could essentially work with a company in New York and still be in the comfort of your own home, right? So think about the location, and also looking, are you looking for a paid academic or unpaid internship? And academic just means that you're going to be receiving course credit. But think about, do you have a preference? Are you open to any of those types of compensation? Is there a specific industry that you want to be in? So this is finding an internship is a really neat opportunity for you to blend and blend interests. So for example, I had a student who wasn't actually, she was in IT, but she loved film. Like she loved everything that has to do with movies, right? But it was more so like her hobby rather than, she didn't want to go into like production or anything like that, but she really liked the film industry. So she was like, I don't know, but I guess like in her mind, she had to work for this like big tech company. And that's not the case because, for example, Sony Productions has a whole department on IT. So she could essentially apply for an IT internship within Sony Productions. So just start to think about the different industries, and most likely you're going to find that even within your major, you can find a position within the industry that you're interested in. And is there a specific functional area? So as we saw with criminal justice, right? There's different functional areas under criminal justice. So kind of thinking about what kind of focus and narrow that down. And I have two images here. So somebody told me, it was actually one of my family members, when I was applying for jobs when I was an undergrad, I said to myself, and I said to them, I said, I will accept anything. Like, I just want a job. I just want an internship. And they said, just be careful, because if you aim everywhere, you're going to end up hitting something or landing on something that you actually don't want, and you just exerted all this energy, and you're going to end up with an offer or end up at an internship that you're kind of unhappy about. So that's like the paintball um, painting right there. That's kind of to symbolize that. And we want to have a more focused search. So having a specific target and setting yourself some parameters for your search, and by reflecting on these questions that I mentioned, and having more of a precise. So again, those are three arrows. So again, just being very focused in applying maybe 3 to 7 jobs a week, but those jobs that you are going to apply for, you're going to be very intentional in aligning your resume, covering what they're asking for in your cover letter, and you're going to end up with something that you actually want because you're taking that time to be more intentional with it. So with that said, quality over quantity, right? All right. How we can support you. So we can provide a resume review. I do resume reviews as well. Just a side note with federal resumes versus chronological resumes. So federal resumes look different. So these are, if you're applying for government, federal agency positions or government positions, they're going to look a lot different. They're going to ask for your salary history. They want you to post, they want you to put your supervisor's name on your resume. So it's just a little bit different than what you would see in a chronological resume. The chronological resume are the most common, and it's for if you're applying for like nonprofits, corporate, even in higher ed, you would use the chronological resume. There I go again. We can help you with your job internship search, networking, and meeting employers. So we definitely can help you in, how to go up to an employer, or now that it's virtual, like how to initiate that conversation via chat or however it may be, right? How to initiate that conversation, how to introduce yourself and present yourself to a prospective employer. So we can definitely support you with that. Mock interviews. So how I mentioned, if you're interviewing a lot and you're not getting any offers, we can provide a mock interview, and we can provide interviewing strategies as well, and thinking and practicing through that. We actually have a new software system called Big Interview. It's on our website, and it's really neat because it video records you, and you can watch yourself answer the questions that they prompted you. So it's essentially a mock interview, but the computer is doing it for you. All right, so we are very active on our Instagram. So I feel like a YouTuber, like follow us, but it doesn't pop
Like
up,
us,
right? Yes.
subscribe.
Yes, follow us on Instagram. I see Adiana's on here,
Yes, she
and
is.
she is awesome. She does Instagram lives, and she interviews different individuals, from employers to recent alumni to students who've done internships in the past, all the way to like staff members on campus, right? So she's really great. Definitely check out our Instagram live, because we'll have special um, guests on there. And we'll post all of our information, like upcoming events, our virtual career fairs, anything like that. We'll post that as well. So as for next steps, definitely have your resume reviewed. If you, even if you do feel pretty confident about it, it's really good to have a second look at it. I'm more than happy to review your resume and decide which search engines, which you already did, right, as you entered them in the chat, and determine how many positions you're going to apply for. So again, do not binge apply. Don't treat this like Netflix. Visit our Career Center website. We have a lot of information on there. You can look at our internship tab, and there's a lot of information on there as well that could help. And one of the biggest piece of advice, if you get anything from this workshop, is that I want you to tell everyone that you know that you're looking for an internship. And that includes the internship coordinators within your own department, your professors, staff members that you interact with, your peers, your friends, whoever it may be, right? Just let everyone know that you are looking for an internship, because especially right now, communication is very fluid, right? So it's a really great opportunity, because in a way, because if more people know about it, they'll keep you in mind. And if they see something posted on their own LinkedIn, or they hear about something, they're more likely to be like, hey, check this out. And then now you have more people helping you look for an internship. All right. And we have a virtual career fair coming up for both internship and full-time positions on October 22nd. You can find it under events in Handshake, or follow us on Instagram. We'll also post that. And I'm sure you'll get an email from us. And the last thing is just apply, apply to company websites, listings, internship listings that are posted on your own department, and internship databases that we covered. And here is my email. You could also do an appointment via Handshake. And I think that is it. If anybody has any questions, do you want to, Hilda and I will stick around if you have any other thoughts. But I would like, Hilda, can you share the survey?
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, awesome. So if you can just take a few moments, it's 3 questions. It's very simple. For you to fill out the survey and just let me know how I did. And it also helps me improve this workshop. And if there's any topic that you would like to see on this series, please feel free to share your ideas, and then that way we can move forward with that.
Also, if you guys did not get a chance to submit your attendance, please do so because we will email you all the slides, the presentation recording. So we want to make sure that you guys don't miss out on that. I have just put that in the chat as well. And then I have a couple of questions, Lupe. I have one from Hector that says, when companies offer internships, do they want you to start right away or they expect you to start months later?
Oh, it depends. So it depends on the employer. So some will want you to start like within like 2 weeks or so. And others, they will, so let's see here, like bigger companies. So bigger companies will actually start recruiting now in the fall, but they are wanting you to start for summer. So if you want an internship in the summer for next summer, definitely start applying now because a lot of recruiters, their what's called their recruitment cycle starts in the fall. For That's what I see for like bigger companies. For local organizations, it's most likely that they will interview you and they'll probably offer you the position within like, a week or so. So their timeline is a little bit different. I see Cecilia for the medical field. I'm going to go to the website right now and pull it up. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you for reminding me. Any other questions?
I don't see any in the chat. If anybody has any other questions, please feel free to chat. Whoa, okay, hold on. Okay, so I have a question here from Oswaldo. I just started the MBA program and I would like to know when you would recommend getting an internship as soon as possible or wait until I get enrolled in the internship course.
Oh, that's a really good question. So I would start looking now because, and you can talk to, her name is Jessica Chavez, and she's the internship coordinator for the College of Business. But I would start looking now because even with the internship course, you will need a offer or you will need to be already secured an internship in order to start that internship course. So either way, I would still look now because if you wait until you get enrolled, you might not be able to be enrolled unless you have secured an internship already.
All right. And then what is your guys' Instagram from Cecilia? Oh, and then I see Jocelyn wrote it in there, CSUSB _CC.
I was gonna say like my personal one. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, please follow us on Instagram
I
at
know, man.
CSUSB _CC.
I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So, okay, do you see the Career Center? Google?
I do.
Okay, cool. All right, Cecilia. So here on our main website, and if you go over to career jobs and internship during COVID, we have a lot of different links here. Let's see. Oh, did they check this? I'm just kidding. It's like when oh, it's over here. Do you know when people go to somebody's house and they're like, oh, please excuse the mess? Just kidding.
Yeah, it's exactly what we just ran into.
Just kidding. Okay, so students and alumni, go over to career resources and then go over to job search, job, internship, and volunteer search. And then, oh goodness, all the way down to College of Natural Science. And then it's called edumed.org. And then this is, so it's here, it's like focusing on healthcare, but you could also find pre-nursing opportunities. And then here, I'll just copy and paste it. Cecilia, also, there are like the San Antonio Regional Hospital offers virtual internships too. So that might be a really good opportunity to get you into that healthcare industry. So if you want to email me, I didn't even link it. Oh gosh. Um, but yeah, if you want to email me, I'll be more than happy to refer you to them. Any other questions?
Will you be having another internship workshop soon? Yes, we will. Our next internship workshop is going to be on Wednesday, October 14th. It'll be at the same time, 11 to 12 p.m., the same Zoom location, and it'll be regarding virtual internships.
Yeah. So it'll be pretty similar information that you received today, but again, if you have any specific questions or if you need assistance in your process, please email me. Do
Awesome.
it. Yeah.
And then I see one more from Danny. Hello, I am IT cybersecurity major and graduating this fall. Would I apply now for the next cycle?
Yeah, so if you're graduating this fall, I would actually do a dual search. So if you're graduating with your bachelor's, I would do a dual search in both internships to hopefully secure an internship this fall. Because as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, a lot of recruiters, it's very rare for recruiters to hire interns after they've already graduated. So I would focus on your full-time position and hoping to secure a full-time position. And you could also apply for internships, but I would kind of lean more in starting to apply for your full-time role.
And those are all of the questions that I have in the chat at this time.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciated all of you and your engagement with the thumbs up and the claps. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh,
Have a
and
wonderful day, everyone.
yeah,